How have you been in quarantine, man? How you been holding up?
Dude, I've been thriving, brother.
How so?
I mean, dude, like, okay, there's shit that sucks about it, and there's shit that rules. Like, what sucks is we had started filming Jackass 4, right? Like a fourth movie, which I agree makes no fucking sense.
Congratulations. I'm all for it.
Cool. I mean, actually, like, we got 1 week into filming Jackass 4, and that's when the shutdown happened.
Damn.
Which is a pisser. It's also a blessing because there are obvious question marks around whether a bunch of fucking 40 and in some cases 50, you know.
Is Knoxville 50?
Will be soon. I think he's 49.
Yeah, he's up there.
A couple of the other guys have crossed 50. You know,
I'm so for it.
I know. I'm all about it.
Right. Knoxville believes firmly that the older you get, the funnier it is.
I agree.
I don't
100%.
know. I think at a certain point it just gets kind of tough to watch. But hey, man, I don't mind a bit. And the 1 week that we were able to film, like the chemistry was there, the fucking footage, everything's worked out fantastically. So we were able to put together enough footage in that 1 week for the question marks to be answered.
Can we still do it?
Yeah, can we still do it?
Is the chemistry still there? Is it going to be fun?
Does it still work?
Get
Is
the
it hard
band
to
back
watch?
together.
Is it just creepy? You know?
Is this just creepy? And then everyone's not doing the stuff. And they're like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Right. But
whose idea was it to get back together?
I'm sure Knoxville. Everybody else has just been clamoring for it. My position was like, hey man, I never stopped doing that shit anyway. So fuck it. Like whether movie or no movie, I'm active. You know, like
that's what I was gonna say. Out of the group of guys, you're the one guy who just kind of. I mean, you're just doing the damn. The other guys kind of. Yeah. Maybe because I don't follow it as close because you and I are boys, but I see what you're doing. You're kind of the one guy who's just kind of doing it.
I've stayed active.
Like you're super active.
I've stayed active, so I was cool either way. But yeah, what we did in the 1 week, it went very well. Paramount Pictures, as I understand it, is just thrilled with the whole idea of it now. So we became a bigger priority on their radar for when the world does begin to spin again. It definitely stopped fucking spinning. Yeah, no shit.
Now, I'm assuming they go, and if this is too much, tell me, Steve-O. Do they go through your agent to figure out payment wise? You know what I'm saying? Because like now the terms are a little different. Like you were a big star.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
You're totally fine to ask, and thanks for flagging. You know this sensitivity. Dude, it's so funny, man. In all the years leading up to it, I never even fucking countered an offer. I just found out what I was going to get, and I was like, cool.
They paying me to do this shit.
Right.
So like on the other movies, because the reason I bring it up is because I was telling somebody, some random fan at Starbucks, he's like, oh, who do you have on today? And I was like, oh, Steve-O. And he goes, oh, did you hear him? He got fucked on the other movies. And I was like, no, man. Like, no, I didn't know that.
It was, we started out like bad. You know, what he was talking about was the first season of the TV show Jackass.
Oh, gotcha.
And for that, I mean, dude, that's entry level. You got to pay your dues.
Who knew how well it would go?
Right, 100%. We'd gone from making skateboard videos to now we're on MTV. Like, we didn't get paid for the skateboard videos, and you know, so they were like, okay, for this first season, we're gonna pay you like per bit. You know, each thing that you shoot, and if the thing that you're shooting is really dangerous and you could get like, you know, hurt, then we're gonna pay you $500 for that bit. If it's just like a funny prank or some kind of a gag, you know, then $200.
It sounds complicated. It's like, or just give us a flat fee, man.
You would think that per episode would be the ticket, but it was all just like just a hodgepodge of bits.
Sounds complicated.
Is it because they didn't know like how big it would get?
They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So they didn't know how many guys were going to be a part of it. You know, like there were like a bunch of different characters in the skateboard videos that sort of turned into Jackass. They weren't even clear on who was going to be the cast. You know, they just sort of had. So I think that's what motivated that. But at the end of the day, after taxes, I made less than $1,500 for the first season.
What?
No residuals, no nothing. Went out, and then
Did the other guys make way more? Like, did John?
I know,
Johnny was
man.
kind of the captain of the ship,
yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah, he got
He's a smart dude.
all the producer shit, the residual shit, the ownership of the creator shit.
Yeah, Johnny's a smart guy.
Yeah, and
He's a Suge Knight.
Yeah, he's like a real. He's a real reckless sugar.
that's so funny. It's good. More of a Don King.
Come on, Steve-O.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. Like from the projects after that, it got better, But now this time around, and like I said, I mean, I had agents in the past, but the agents were like, "Oh, okay, this is what you're gonna get," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
This time around, it's like, oh, okay, well, guys, I need to speak up for myself at this point because for the last 10, it's been 10 fucking years since the last movie. And so over the last 10 years, like, I've stayed active,
You're the most relevant
and, like,
one.
yeah, without, like, being a dick, like, I'm the only guy that fucking has been active, Like, I've been building momentum. I've been doing my thing. I think that it's safe to say that at this point, I bring more to the table than the rest of the guys.
That's where I was going with it without being offensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's a dickheaded thing to say. It was an observation, and what's more important for me is that I didn't want to like get in there and be the one like fighting for it. I was like, hey, you know what, like. The last time around, I had my lawyer telling me, yo, we've got a counter. And I was like, no.
The lawyer's like, why do you have me?
Right. And, because that last time around, I was newly sober. Like, I didn't know if I had it in me.
Yeah.
I was just like,
This was for the movie?
But for
So wait,
Jackass
when you were
3D.
sober when you did the slingshot?
Yeah.
In the porta potty?
The porta potty slingshot, I was completely sober.
So let me ask you a question. Do you ever like do a stunt and when you're about to do it, you be like, nah, I was just bullshitting?
Nah.
Just fake them out. Like, man, it's called Jackass, not dumbass.
Especially now that you're sober, I
Right.
feel like
Yeah. I mean, like in hindsight, I really went on to regret not letting my lawyer like fight, And so this time I just said, hey guys, I think I bring more to the table this time around, and this time I'm gonna stay out of my own way, and I'm gonna do what my lawyer
Let them do their job.
I'm gonna let my guy do what he does,
Yep.
And so I extricated myself from the situation. And my lawyer did say this is fucking bullshit, and then we kind of got into the standoff, so to speak, and God, it was just really something else, man. I'd never really gone down that path, to find like how contentious, how like
It's heartbreaking.
sort of,
Isn't it heartbreaking?
like it's like wow, like
I know.
It's like, wow, man, like when you're fighting over money, like, because we're not negotiating with with the movie studio. Already the production company.
They gave you a budget.
The production company, which is Knoxville and Spike Jonze and Jeff Tremaine, like they've got their deal with the studio,
with
Paramount Pictures, and so now it's up to them to
Delegate
to
the money.
deal with us.
Yeah.
So anything that we get comes out of their shit. And so that's what I came to learn. It's like, wow, they're really fucking they're pretty serious about digging in their heels and getting real fucking heavy over this. And
The good thing is, they can't do it without, like, if someone went, hey, there's a new Jackass, but there's no Steve, I'm like, I'm not going.
It got to a point where my lawyer even was like, wow, like we got a little better, and at this point I just can't advise you to pass on this, and so I was like, hey guys, that's all I needed was my guy to say the word go, and so. I don't think that I got anything really like substantial in the way of like.
I think it's a respect thing.
Yeah, I think
It's almost that. You know what I'm saying?
And whatever. It was overall, it was a wildly uncomfortable process. You know, like and it is kind of heartbreaking when it's like when you're bros. But you know, I just come to learn that's the nature of the world. Fuck it, you know. And
Especially in show business, right?
yeah, as soon as the deal was done and we showed up for that 1 week of filming, the fucking all forgotten. We're laughing our asses off. The chemistry's there. The footage is great.
Do you guys still
And,
see each other outside of this? Like, do you communicate?
Sure, man.
Is the band still tight?
Yeah, for sure. We've always been cool. We don't like hang out all the time,
No.
you know. And it's kind of like if something's really funny, like, oh man, like, well, I'll send this over or that, you know. But you know, it's we're bros. We're all a family, and there's no hard feelings about anything. And like, honestly, because I have been so active, like, I stand to benefit so much more from the film than anybody else.
Agreed.
Because
You're on the road, your podcast.
right, I've got established revenue streams that are going to be fucking supercharged by this. So like, this is, if I viewed the movie as just an engine that's going to drive my other revenue
And more
streams.
content.
Sure.
Like you're gonna get content from it.
Yeah,
Stage, everything.
So it really was kind of a matter of principle. It was a matter of respect. My guy said, go for it. It's great. Plus, he got me a producer credit, which is
Hell
kind of
yeah.
cool.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Second billing. It's
Oh, I love
Knoxville
that.
and Steve-O.
Oh, cool, man.
So, I mean, there's a lot that's pretty fucking cool
Who
about
comes
it.
up with the ideas?
We do.
Because you guys have come up with so much shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like at
Sure.
some point, it's like, what else are we gonna do? Dude? When I got off stage at the Laugh Factory, right away you go, bro, I figured out what you look like. I'm like, what? This is in front of a bunch of other comics. I'm like, what? You're like, you look like a Rottweiler who got his shit together.
Oh, you do, bro. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, dude.
Grab that mic, son.
You do. Look, bro. Look.